Hi, I'm Ryann Fife. I'm from Montrose High School, and this summer I did a 3-week internship at the Rehab Neural Engineering Lab at the University of Pittsburgh. So the first thing I did when I arrived was setting up these OptiTrack cameras all around this walkway right here. And so they're all along this railing. And so the goal of this is to hook up markers around your leg, and then it works like a motion capture system, such as like CGI movies. And then so what this does is allows us to compare the gait of an able body compared to someone who maybe is an amputee or is a stroke victim, and we can see how to better improve their gait with prosthetics. It was just kind of a lot of moving cameras like a centimeter and being like, can you see anything yet? And they say no, and then we have to do it all over again. And then, so these are the wand calibrations from the cameras, and then as you can see, our first one here on the left isn't great. So then once we got more cameras and got them better angled at the walkway, you can see our wand calibration was a lot better on this side. And then, so the next thing, once we finished with our cameras, we worked on these spike gadgets, and what they are sensors that we will hook up to this sleeve on the left. And then ideally what happens is you put the sleeve around the person's leg, and then as they walk, you can measure the neural activity that's happening when they're walking. But then we had an issue where they weren't sending the correct signals, so then we had to hook it up to the function generator and the voltage divider. And then we finally got a good signal from the test board. But then when we hooked up to the 128 channel sleeve, as you can see, the signal is very messed up. And so then we had to contact the company and move on to a different project while we waited for them to get back to us. So then this next part, I got to work with EMG sensors. So that's me with all the sensors taped onto my legs, and I had this big tail of wires. So I had to be very careful while walking around. But so what this does is we would have motion capture markers all over your legs, and then also add the EMG sensors. So then the motion capture can show us a 3D model of what you look like and kind of like your balance, and then the EMG sensors will show you the actual neurons that are firing when you walk. And then once you have that 3D model and EMG data, you can put it into OpenSim, and then this shows you all the different muscles in your lower body, and then on the left you can see all the joints and and then you can click on it and it'll show you all the different activity that's happening, so you can really get an in-depth look at what's happening. And then here on the left, this is a video, it probably won't load, but on the left, we finally got wireless sensors, which is really fun because I didn't have to carry my tail around anymore. And then you can see the wireless sensors are all hooked up, and my markers are all on my legs. And then on my feet are these Moticon sensors, and what they do is kind of judge where your weight is and your balance and the pressure as you walk. And then we kind of had an issue there because the only Moticon sensors we had was a men's size 11, and I am a woman's size 5. So we kind of did our best engineering skills, and we made some sandals out of Velcro. So it wasn't the most precise way to measure, but we were just trying to get everything to work and to make sure that it would be ready for patients that would be coming this fall. And so then the biggest issue that I had to work on my last week there was syncing the two systems. So we have the DELSA system, which is the wireless electrodes, and then we have the Moticon system, which is a motion cap system. And so what happened was they wanted different types of pulses to start, and so then we couldn't get them to start at the same time, start collecting data at the same time. So there would be a margin of error because they're starting like milliseconds different. So I had to use this Arduino and create a signal that would appease both systems. And finally, the day I left, I got it to work. So yeah, that was pretty good. All right, and then my last day, I got to go out to lunch with my mentor and some other interns that were there for the summer. And like right after this, I got on my plane and came home. So that was just a really fun way to end the internship. And then my time there was really fun. My host family had a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, so I got to go to the zoo, and I got to go to the Carnegie Museum of Natural History, the Carnegie Museum of Art, and I had a blast when I was there. And my advice for future interns is definitely get involved, like ask questions. You're not expected to know everything when you get there, so you don't have to feel like you're up here with all these expectations. Definitely ask questions and get the most out of it that you can. Thank you. I love it. Thank you.